Hi there on Verified at 10 p.m. on NDTV. There is no other story that we can talk about tonight because the entire country is shocked and talking about the gruesome murder case in Delhi. How for 5 months, this man who committed this, crime straight out of a copybook from, some dark web series, how he eluded the police, the neighbors, family of Shraddha. We'll take you inside Aftab's head to get you more details of this horrific crime. Our second lead today is coming in from Morbi, the story we have been continuously following where the government of Gujarat is not doing anything, not saying anything. The police, neither the municipal corporation. The court has finally asked some tough questions to the government of Gujarat. And the third story, a sad one from Chennai where a young budding football player just had a ligament tear, one injury, and the treatment of injury cost her life. Seeing you in the studio in just a short while. Good evening and welcome. This is Verified on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. Ladies and gentlemen, last 72 hours, and this is the, you know my top leads and the story that everybody's talking about. That's the story that I'm beginning with this evening. Last 72 hours have been extremely disturbing, unsettling for Delhi and for the entire country. A constant stream of startling, gory details of Shraddha Walkar gruesome murder case have been trickling in. Even most experienced Delhi police investigators on this case are finding it hard to believe as they unearth the shocking layers as they are being narrated by the main accused, Aftab. Most of you viewers and like most of you, even most of us in the newsroom are still trying to wrap our heads around the terrifying details of the murder. Wondering, could this actually be true? As addictive, as this crime story is, on Verified we are trying and we are putting out details only which we are hearing first-hand from the Delhi police. Tonight, apart from new mind-numbing details, I will also put out some questions which eventually may decide the fate of this case and whether Shraddha would get justice and rest in peace after the media glare and the dust around this case settles down. So to begin with, I just want to start with the two new defining visuals of this case, which you are seeing right now on this big screen. One, the accused, in fact, when he was taken out by the Delhi police to the Mehroli forest area, where he is trying to, in fact, mark the places where he hid the body parts of this girl. 35 pieces her body was chopped into and he hid them one day after another for 18 days at this forested area. The other picture that you see is Aftab in the Delhi police cell, in the lockup of the Delhi police in Mehroli, sleeping, possibly as nothing has happened. How can somebody do that? How can somebody even get any sleep after this? Very quickly, let me just take you to the top latest developments as far as this story is concerned. The news which is coming in today, ladies and gentlemen, Aftab brought home more women. Imagine the depravity of this mind after killing a woman in that own house who he professed his love to. He used to bring more women in the same house. Aftab moved Shraddha's body parts, ladies and gentlemen, to cupboard when the women were over. Just listen in to few of the neighbors what they had to say about this.
अगर आप 2-3 दिन में देखोगे तो 7 से 8 लड़कियां आई हैं यहाँ पे और डिफरेंट लड़कियां आती थी और मोस्टली वो मतलब मणिपुर के लोग होते थे.
Aftab, development number 3 on this is that he would open the fridge, and this has, this shaken me to the core. He used to open the fridge to look at Shraddha's dismembered head. I can't wrap my head around this. I mean, how can somebody do this? Development number 4, Aftab hosted many parties, but he kept his house tightly shut. Life was going on as usual as it could be for Aftab. Listen in to what his neighbors told us.
Aftab, 2-3 दिन में देखोगे तो 7 से 8 लड़कियां आई हैं यहाँ पे और डिफरेंट लड़कियां आती थी और मोस्टली वो मतलब मणिपुर के लोग होते थे.
Aftab, development number 4, Aftab hosted many parties, but he kept his house tightly shut. Life was going on as usual as it could be for Aftab. Listen in to what his neighbors told us.
मई में आए थे यहाँ पे, बट कभी मिक्सअप नहीं थे क्योंकि इनका जो ये घर था ऑलवेज बंद रहता था। हर एक दिन पार्टियां होती थी, लेकिन क्या हो रहा है अंदर में कभी किसी ने नहीं देखा।
जब मैं यहाँ आया तो मतलब कि गेट मतलब बेल बजाया था फर्स्ट फ्लोर का, तो उसने आकर के गेट खोल दिया था। और गेट खोलने के बाद जो है कि मतलब उसने बोला कि भैया मेरा बेल नहीं बजाना, बस इतना ही। और उसके बाद बातचीत कोई नहीं हुई।
Aftab, a trained chef, Googled how to clean up the bloodstains before chopping Shraddha's body into 35 pieces. Aftab used Shraddha's Instagram account to keep in touch with her friends for about 15 to 20 days after he had already killed Shraddha. Aftab's family fled their Mumbai home 15 days ago with Aftab's help. This is, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most startling claims that I have seen, development that I have seen. This also raises questions. Did Aftab confess to his family? Why is the family missing from their house for the last 15 days? Listen in to what the neighbors told us in Mumbai.
15 दिन पहले उन्होंने खाली कर रहे थे तो हमको एक्चुअली मिले थे। तो मैंने पूछा भी अचानक आप लोग खाली क्यों कर रहे हो? तो बोले नहीं, अभी वो लड़के का बॉम्बे में जॉब लगा और वो कंपनी के तरफ से उसको रेंट भी मिल रहा है और हमारा जॉब भी बॉम्बे में है, तो हम लोग इसके लिए बॉम्बे शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं।
Now, Aftab went to a doctor in May to get treated for a cut wound on his hand. Why? The timing is suspicious because it happened right after he murdered Shraddha and was possibly, trying to butcher her body, dismember her body. Listen in to what the doctor told us. We spoke to the doctor as well.
My compounder came to me. He said, डॉक्टर साहब एक पेशेंट लेटा हुआ है, उसको एक थोड़ा छोटा सा कट लगा हुआ है, सुपरफिशियल इंजरी है। तो मैं गया वहाँ पे, उसको देखा, मैंने पूछा कैसे कट हुआ ये, तो बोला कि मैं फ्रूट कट कर रहा था और ये मेरी नाइफ स्लिप कर गई और ये कट हुआ है। तो देखने में जो वुंड था वो क्लीन था, इंसाइज था, बिल्कुल मतलब क्लीन इंसाइज वुंड, ऐसा लग रहा था कुछ शार्प वेपन से हुआ ये। मैंने पूछा कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा हुआ, मारपीट कहीं हुई है, कहीं चाकूबाजी कुछ हुई है? बोला नहीं डॉक्टर साहब ऐसा नहीं है, ये एक्सीडेंटल कट हो गया। वो काफ़ी रेस्टलेस था, कॉरिडोर में वॉक कर रहा था वो, तो और बातें भी कर रहा था, काफ़ी लाउड, काफ़ी बोल्ड था और काफ़ी एरोगेंट लग रहा था मुझे देखने से।
क्या कोई अग्रेशन दिख रहा था आपको उन पर?
हाँ, अग्रेशन था, डेफिनेटली था अग्रेशन, क्योंकि अपनी बात को काफ़ी लाउड और काफ़ी तेज़ी से बोल रहा था वो, कंटिन्यूस बोल रहा था वो, बिल्कुल बीच में रुक नहीं रहा था वो।
Could this cut be a result of, Aftab trying to dismember the body and cutting himself accidentally? That's also a big question. Now, most of you would have been reading in the newspapers about a series named Dexter. It has been now associated with this murder because Aftab seemed to have told the investigators that he was influenced. He was influenced by an American series called Dexter. It is a very, very dark series. Let me very quickly tell you about, in fact, this series, because accused Aftab had said that he was influenced, he was completely, maniac about this series. He was a fan of this series. What do we know about Dexter, what this series is? Now, the police has said that he was influenced. Now, Dexter Morgan, the lead character in this series, lives a double life. He is, in fact, during the daytime, lead character is a forensic technician, and during the night, Dexter is a vigilante, serial killer. He kills people who he thinks have done something wrong or are, potential accused in a crime or are related to any crime. He goes and kills them, and he takes his modus operandi involves chopping victims' body parts and disposing them off in, and dumping them in garbage bags, far, far away from the scene of crime. Dexter was aired sometime from 2006 for 8 years. It was a very, very popular American series. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to understand and explore this question as well, because that is also something that a lot of people are wondering. Could these series, these kind of dark series, what kind of impact it could have on people that they would want to enact this in real life? Let me go across right now to Anamika Yaduvanshi. She's a psychologist who is joining us at this moment. Anamika, thank you for speaking to us. I just want to very quickly understand from you. You've seen the details of this case. This man sees something on television which is not real, and he enacts it in real life. how can people get so influenced, watching something on television which is fiction and, go ahead and enact them in real life?
Ankit, I believe influence could not only, be because of this Dexter. Maybe there were certain issues with Aftab. Maybe he had some childhood trauma, he had some temper issues, he had aggression issues, he might be having so many issues since his childhood. It's just that Dexter series gave him a way out, gave him, maybe a reason that how he can get away with such a crime, how he can get rid of Shraddha's body, chopping her body into 35 pieces. I mean, he was a chef, so holding the saw, holding the, that big knife was not a first thing for him. But he saw it, so he connected the dots and it made him easy. But bringing that courage does not come from such series. Courage comes from within. It might be,
I don't know whether this is courage, but this is very, very disturbing. And, while in the newsroom we were talking about this, and that's why we decided that we would like to understand this further. Are there some particular kind of people, those who would enact, fiction in real life, would, like you said, that he would have had some problems, psychological problems, because it's not that you and I would watch a movie and then it would influence us so much that we'll go out and enact that movie in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people might have watched that series. Not everybody became Aftab. So he became what he became because he had his own issues. He had his own psychological problems which were not addressed earlier. And I believe that this is not the first time that he has done something which is illegal. This is not the first time he's done something brutal.
Yeah.
He might have done something in the childhood also, because doing something like this, it requires a lot of confidence that you can get away with it. Like he was doing the preparation after murdering Shraddha. He was talking to her friends on Instagram.
Yes.
He told Mumbai police that Shraddha has left him and she's no more with him, because somewhere he was sure that body will not be found. So he will get away with it. So he was preparing. Maybe he did not prepare before the murder. Murder was perhaps in the heat of the moment. But after that, the preparation is done so thoughtfully, so mindfully, so meticulously that this shows a psycho-criminal mindset that this shows.
It has been methodical. It has been, he almost, in fact, for 5 months he got away with doing this, disappearing Shraddha from the face of the earth. And that also brings us to some very, very disturbing questions. Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Anamika, and giving us your viewpoint on this story. But very quickly, as I said, we will ask some very, very important questions, because eventually this has to be decided in the court of law, and there are few questions that possibly are going to decide the fate of this case. What are the big questions that in fact need to be answered, and during the investigation by the police as well? Why no missing complaint despite Shraddha being off the grid? Remember, the missing complaint came only 15 days back. For 5 months, for us initially 1 month he was chatting with people, but for more than 4.5 months, she was absolutely off grid. Nobody raised an alarm. That's very, very disturbing. What was the motive? Was it just pressurizing him for getting married, or was there something else? Crime of passion or well-planned murder? It doesn't seem somebody who has done it by mistake. It seems someone who was very, very confident about what he was doing. Where is the murder weapon? That is going to be a key question for the police, because the way he has disposed it off. How will the police trace the DNA evidence? He tried to clean the entire, in fact, DNA evidence, and more crucially, clothes of both victim and the accused, they are yet to be recovered. He put them in a garbage bag, throw it in a garbage collection vehicle, a van which comes at your doorsteps every day in the morning, and we don't know where it is. More body parts are yet to be recovered. There has to be DNA sampling. All these are crucial questions. If they are not answered, possibly this man will get away with this most gruesome crime in the court of law. So we are hoping that the Delhi police makes a very, very watertight case against this man. Now let's move on to our second big lead, ladies and gentlemen, this evening. This is a very, very sad story. It breaks my heart to, in fact, bring this story as well to you, but an important story, an alarming story that you should know. A teenager footballer, this girl, full of life, wanted to make her mark as a footballer. Look at that, how good she is while she dribbles this football. She had a ligament tear. Sports persons, usually when they are playing, they do suffer from injuries. She went to a doctor, then to a hospital. This is a case of sheer negligence, a botched up surgery. Not only initially her feet, her legs had to be amputated. Eventually, she died because of the medical negligence. This story from Tamil Nadu is just an eye-opener.
Priya dreamt of playing football for India, but the 17-year-old died at a government hospital in Chennai because of botched up treatment after a surgery at a government hospital outside Chennai to fix a simple ligament tear. The first-year college student was shifted to the government Rajiv Gandhi Hospital in the city, where her right leg was amputated a few days ago. This morning, she died of multiple organ failure.
இந்த வலிக்கான மருந்து இங்கே இல்லை, நீங்கள் ஜிஹெச் கிட்னு போயிடுங்கன்னு தான் அப்படி தான் எங்கள் கிட்ட போய் சொல்லி இங்கே இருக்கிற டாக்டருக்கு தெரிஞ்சுது. சதை செத்து போயிடுச்சு, உயிருக்கு ஆபத்து, பிளட்டெல்லாம் இப்படி மேலே ஏறிட்டு இருக்குது பொழுது. இந்தமாரி உயிருக்கு ஆபத்து, நீங்கள் கையெழுத்து போடுங்க, காலை மட்டும் எடுக்க போகிறோம். எப்படி சார், சின்ன ஆப்ரேஷன் நாங்கள் கால் எடுக்க போகிறோன்னா அப்போ எங்களோட வேதனை எப்படி இருந்திருக்கும்.
Subsequent abdomen amputation, a debridement was planned yesterday. Before that, she had developed myoglobinuria. When there is a muscle necrosis, the myoglobin will be released, which is excreted through the kidney. When it gets excreted through the kidney, normally the kidney get damaged, so which resulted in renal failure. Subsequently, liver also got affected, and then the heart also got affected. The perfusion reduced, so myocardial contractility also has come down. Finally, she went into multi-organ failure.
2 government doctors have been suspended for negligence after an investigation by the health department blamed it on a compression bandage that they had put so tight, impacting blood supply.
During the surgery, they usually apply tourniquet. So the tourniquet is applied mainly to reduce the bloodless field at the site of surgery. After the surgery, normally it has to be removed. So there was a delay in removing the thing, which caused necrosis of the tissues.
அதுதான் இப்ப டீடைல்டு என்கொயரி நடத்துறோங்க. டீடைல் என்கொயரி நடத்தி அந்த விசாரணையின் முடிவில் என்ன மாதிரியான குற்றங்கள், எந்த மாதிரியான கவனக்குறைவு, எந்த மாதிரியான தவறுகள் மருத்துவ ரீதியில விசாரணைக்கு பிறகு அந்த தவறுகளுக்கு.
The state government has announced 10 lakh rupees to the family in addition to a government job for a family member. There will be department and legal action against those responsible, the government has said. In Chennai, Sam Daniel, Find the TV.
It's just heartbreaking when dreams are crushed by this gross negligence. Let's move on to another story, which is also a story of criminal negligence, ladies and gentlemen. The story that we at NDTV have been continuously following and will keep following it till the time justice is served for more than 135 people, those who lost their lives in the Morbi Bridge collapse tragedy. Now, what has happened in this story? Because it's been 17 days now, and there is only one question that still remains. 16 days later, after the Morbi Bridge collapse, what has happened? Where is the investigation? Where are the real culprits, people those who are responsible for that contract, and people those who are giving that contract for renovation of that bridge without even checking their antecedents? That's the question. And the police, and you can see in right now, the Morbi Municipal Corporation, the government of Gujarat, and the ruling party BJP are absolutely mum about this. Not a peep, ladies and gentlemen. But thankfully today, the court stepped in. The High Court of Gujarat has stepped in and has made very, very serious, in fact, questions have been asked of the government of Gujarat, and we are hoping that at least with the intervention of the High Court, justice would finally be served. What is that the High Court, in fact, has said as far as this case is concerned, ladies and gentlemen? The Gujarat High Court, strong observation, strong remarks. The municipality a government body has defaulted, which ultimately killed 135 people. And that's why I'm asking why nobody from the municipality has been arrested so far. The Gujarat High Court also said the state shall also place on record reason why disciplinary proceedings against chief officer of the civic body aren't commenced yet. He has only been suspended. Nothing has happened post that. The High Court also asked the government, the largesse of the state seems to have been granted without any tender floated there in this process, in this entire case. No tender process was done, and it was just given to the company, to the Ajanta company, which is owned, Oreva Group, which is owned by Jaisukh Patel. Why was the tender for the repair work of a public bridge not floated? Why weren't bids invited? That's the normal process, and we've been highlighting it from day one. The Gujarat High Court also said, how was an agreement for such an important work completed in just 1.5 pages of a contract? Was the largesse of the state given to Ajanta company without any tender being floated? These are very, very important questions, ladies and gentlemen, and we are hoping that very soon the Gujarat government and the police there, along with the municipality, will come to the High Court with answers, because the answers of these questions is going to be possibly the way for justice, for real culprits being booked. All right. That was our lead 3. From today, we are starting a new section on Verified. We'll tell you very quickly, because the election season is on, what's happening in the election season. The quick wrap, our 2-minute wrap of the big news as far as the elections are concerned. Lead number 1, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to campaign in Gujarat. In fact, the Prime Minister is going to start his campaign from 19th. The Prime Minister would be there for 3 days and is expected to address 8 rallies. Now, lead number 2, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. The Gandhi siblings are going to be in Gujarat as well. They are the star campaigners. Rahul Gandhi is expected to address a campaign rally in Gujarat on November 22nd. That was a day when there will be a 1-day break as far as the Bharat Jodo Yatra is concerned. Priyanka Gandhi is also expected to campaign in Gujarat after Himachal Pradesh. Number 3 on the election wrap, in fact, there is Mr. Amit Shah, who is battling the rebel crisis in Gujarat for the 3rd straight day. There has been a strategy meeting that he has been part of at the BJP headquarters in Gujarat, Kamalam, which is known as the BJP headquarters in Gandhinagar. So he's trying to, in fact, sort out the creases as far as the party going into elections is concerned, a prestige battle for the BJP. Number 4, in fact, at this moment, Ribaba Jadeja campaigns in North Jamnagar, the seat which has been given to her by the Bharatiya Janata Party. She is the wife of cricketer Ravindra Jadeja. But while on the campaign trail, NDTV wanted to ask her a few questions. Look how she waited them.
मैम, मोरबी को लेके एक बहुत जरूरी सवाल था। एक सेकंड मैं इनको मिलूं। हाँ, मिली। मैम, ये जरूरी पर सवाल है। आप नहीं बात करना चाह रही हैं।
Morbi, they just want to, glide over that. Nobody wants to, especially from the BJP, wants to say anything about it. And our 5th election story comes from the national capital, where the local body polls, the MCD polls, are going to take place, where a musical war has now ensued between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. Both of them releasing their campaign songs. Just listen in a bit about what these songs are all about.
केजरीवाल की बारी है, जनता की तैयारी है, एमसीडी की बारी है, दिल्ली में कूड़े के ढेर से डूब गई जनता सारी है। पॉल्यूशन जानलेवा है, पॉल्यूशन जानलेवा है, ऐसे झूठों को चेताए रखना। बीजेपी का मतलब सेवा है, सेवक अपना बनाए रखना।
I always wonder with these songs, in the BJP song, you heard a very familiar voice of Manoj Tiwari, the kind of pictures that they use of each other's opponents. Anyway, that's all the time that we have in this edition of Verified. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned to NDTV for all the news and updates. Thank you so much. Good night.